All right, today our objective is actually to do composite surface area. Okay, composite, I should say. So that includes pyramids, cones, prisms, cylinders, whatever is thrown at us, because remember, from yesterday, composite means more than one stuck together. But I will remind you that this Friday we're having a test. Test Friday. Okay, so that means Thursday we're going to review. Tomorrow we're going to do one last new thing. And today we're doing composite surface area. We're finishing the notes today and doing our assignment. We just went over the quizzes, so let's get to it. Everyone's looking at this page. We did examples 1, because there's more than one on example 1. And now we're looking at example 2, right? If you got a phone in your hand, you should not, right? So look at example 2. This is a different type of question, okay? Look at this. When we have a pyramid on top of a prism, okay? Now, there's one more situation that this could be talking about. It could be a cone on a cylinder. That's another situation, okay? But when you have a pointed thing on top of a non-pointed thing, okay? When you have a pyramid on a prism or a cone on a cylinder, you have new rules. So look at these rules right here, okay? The lateral of the bottom and then the lateral of the top. This time, you're going to find both laterals and add them up, okay? In the situation in which we are going to be doing what? So there's a very key word that we're going to look at right here. Ready? Is everyone looking? The structure below will be Kathy's new doll home. Outside the house is going to be what? What? Painted. Painted, painted, painted. Okay? And I'm just going to tell you, because I've had people tell me otherwise. I'm telling you, we are not going to paint the bottom. Right? Shake your head yes. Okay, so we're not going to paint the bottom. Who cares about the bottom? Okay, so we are just painting the sides of the prism and the sides of the pyramid. Okay, when you get the painting problem, they're both lateral. When you have a, oh no, no, no. Just don't do that. No, don't do that either. I'm having technical difficulties. Oh my gosh. Can I just get, there we go. Yay. All right, now I have to get this back over here. There we go. Okay. Sorry, that took like minutes off my life here. Yay. Okay, so when we had a prism or a cylinder on top of a prism, it was total on bottom, lateral on top. But if and when you get to the painting problem, you definitely need to make sure that you do both lateral, okay? So, painted, okay? So the painting problem, both lateral and lateral. Cool. So lateral surface area of this, painted, and lateral surface area of this, painted. Because it says painted. All right? I've said it, said it. So what is the total surface area of the exterior surfaces that need to be painted? That's the key word. That need to be painted. What do we need? Not the bottom. That's why they're both sides only, which are both lateral. So let's do that. I want to find the top's lateral surface area. So for the top, so the lateral surface area equals what? Now, this is what shape on top here? Pyramid, right? So let's remember, how do we find surface area of a pyramid? Okay, so, yeah, here it was. These notes, lateral surface area of a pyramid was PL over 2. Okay, so let's use that. PL over 2. Now, for this pyramid, what is P? Okay, so the perimeter of the base. So this right here, what's the perimeter of that? So I look at the very bottom, it matches. I have 8 and 8, and then the other two sides would be 8 and 8. So remember, for perimeter, you're adding up all those sides, right? So let's do that. 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. What does that give me? 32 centimeters, right? So we got our perimeter of the base of the pyramid, which is the same base as the prism, right? Okay, now the next thing I need is this L. Remind me, what does L stand for? Slant height. Who said length? Not length, it's slant height. Not height, slant height. Do we know a slant height? So you'll see there's this dashed line right here on the slant through the middle of that face. So yes, 10 is my slant height. Okay? If you saw something going straight up and down, that would not be it. But we do know the slant height here. So since I know P and L, I can do this, right? So P is 32 times L, which is 10, divided by 2. Okay. So what is 32 times 10 divided by 2? You can type it in your calculator, but you should get, is it 160? Word. Why? Okay. My board is uncalibrated. Give me trouble. Now, again, we're writing small. For the bottom, I need to find the lateral surface area again. So the bottom shape is a prism. So let's remember, for a prism, lateral surface area is pH, right? So let's write that, pH. And now we go over to our shape, and I need to find this perimeter of the bottom. Now this just so happens to have the same base as the pyramid. It may not always be the case, so you always want to double check. Does the bottom have a different perimeter? So the bottom here would still be 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. So we do know it's 32 on the bottom here. What's the height of that bottom prism? 14. So this will be easy, just 32 times 14. And we get 448. Can we corroborate that? You know what that word means? Like double check. Who else gets the same thing? Okay. So 448. Cool. Are we done? Thank you. So, almost done. Our last step, composite surface area. C stands for composite surface area. Take those two parts and add them up. So 160 plus 448 equals 608. 608, and my units are centimeters squared. Okay, so since I'm painting this dollhouse, right? We'll write this down. Since I'm painting this dollhouse, and I'm not going to paint the bottom, it's going to be 608 centimeters squared for my outside faces. Okay, so that's it for the notes. I know the first two were kind of tough, but I'm telling you, if you have a prism on a prism, or a cylinder on a prism, it's total of the bottom, lateral of the top. Okay? So if you flip this over from yesterday, or if you just got it today, you need to get an assignment from the back. Okay? Again, I know it's kind of scribbly on the original one I gave you, right? So ignore the scribbles, pretend like they don't exist. Oops. But start working on these problems, and if you're stuck, flip it over. Very similar, okay? But I want you to do it with these numbers. Show me you can do it, okay? So, that's your assignment for today. I want you to knock that out. You can do it, and you do have time. Even with a shorter period, you got about 30 minutes. So let's go ahead and knock that out.